Working in the corner one day to the other, but I want my piece of bun. Working in the corner, peeking on my shoulders, waiting for my time to come. Working in the corner one day to the other, but I want my piece of bun.
Stepping a stone in, I'm all gone. Give me the
We're standing here in the Singer Sweatshop next to Rachael Marszewski. This exhibition comes from Chicago. How did you get in Rotterdam?
Well, it's quite a long story, but my husband, Edmar, who is also my partner, has been coming to Holland for quite some time, maybe over 10 years, visiting back and forth. But about 3 years ago, we met some guys that were doing this website called Trendbeheer, and we started kind of a partnership or a collaboration where, being that we are both in kind of producing media about arts and artists, that we started doing exhibitions together where we collaborated by either bringing artists from Chicago to Rotterdam or from Rotterdam to Chicago to do exhibition. And it's just continued every year since then.
Would you call yourselves then like curators?
Well, yes, we are curators amongst many other things. We're producers of all different kinds of art events and cultural events. We are gallery owners and operators, curators of some of the events that we have there. We also are publishers of a few magazines, Proximity being our contemporary art and culture magazine, and Lumpen being Edmar's oldest magazine, which is more of a counterculture magazine with arts, politics, and other things.
But in general, all the things you do has to do something with art.
Yes, it's all about kind of cultural production or supporting arts and culture by... we have lots of different strategies of doing that, and that's why we do so many different things. Is we kind of try to corner every outlet of culture and amplify it or talk about it or make it more than it was before.
And is the art scene in Chicago, where you operate from, and in Rotterdam, which of you know a little bit now, in what way does it compare?
Well, I think they're really similar. I mean, they're both kind of like working artist cities. Both Rotterdam and Chicago are not known as like the maybe art center of the country. We have New York and LA that are considered way more important, or the centers of art and cultural production. But Chicago is a place where hundreds and thousands of artists live and work and really get down to business and do some amazing stuff. And I feel that that's the biggest similarity with Rotterdam. And we've met so many artists, and there's so many studios and spaces and happenings and events. And so we come here and it feels very much the same as Chicago.
Can you tell a little bit about what is on display right now here?
Yes, the only unifying thread of this show is that they're all artists that we featured in either the last issue of Proximity number 6 or number 5. So we've kind of handpicked a few of the people that we've presented in our magazine, and they're all here with a piece or two.
Well, since we're here now, standing in front of these works, can you maybe tell something specific about what we see here?
Okay, well, I would like to say the artist's full name, but I'm afraid that I'm going to really mess up her last name. Anna Stetschlager is a Russian, like Jewish Orthodox photographer, and she makes a lot of work that is reflective of her life as living in Russia as an Orthodox Jew, and then later her move to the States, where she went to art school and then slowly distanced herself from the faith. And a lot of this work kind of is her reflections back on her time and the way that her life has been influenced by Orthodox Judaism. Yeah, pretty much.
And I also want to ask a few questions about the newspaper that is on display here, the New York Times, with all like very good news about well, generally your country. What's that about?
Well, this is a piece by a group called the Yes Men. You probably may or may not have heard of them, but they're quite famous these days for their shenanigans when it comes to their political and art activism as performance, as intervention, as completely freaking out reality. And this project is one where they created a whole new New York Times. They actually stole the fonts, which has become kind of a legal struggle they've had with this, because the New York Times fonts are closely guarded, secret, but they have them stolen, and they have made all different kinds of articles, and that is kind of what their progressive thoughts on what they wish they would see in the news. The first being that the Iraq war ends right on the cover, and amongst some other good things that I think a lot of people in America wish to see. And they made those, they pressed them, and on July 4th they put them all over the city, dropped them off at all the subway stations and all places all across New York. And it appeared to be the New York Times with all these great articles. So
Did a lot of people get upset or just be happy? Maybe got really smiley.
I think a lot of people were really happy. We didn't, being that we're from Chicago, we didn't actually get a copy on the day that they were distributed, but it was instantly in the news everywhere that, that there had been a fake New York Times, and I think everybody was pretty happy and excited about it. And maybe one of their biggest kind of stunts that they've ever done, which...
Well, it looks great. It looks very real and stuff. How do you personally feel about being here and how the show turned out to be?
Oh, well, I feel great to be here, and I think the show turned out really well. I don't know. It's quite early in the night, so I'm curious to see what people's reactions are and discuss whatever art with them and
Doing the thing.
doing my thing, I guess.
Thank you very much.